Welcome to the Criminal Law and Procedure Lecture Series. At the end of each slide, there will be a 10-second delay. Use this time to stop the lecture and take your notes. When you are done, push play to continue. This lecture will begin in 5 seconds. Welcome to Criminal Law and Procedure Lecture 1.7, Defenses Part 2, Physical Action Excuses, and let's talk about siblings. Not those siblings. Now, those are siblings. But whether you're a Kardashian or a Brady, there are certain universal truths we all know about our brothers or sisters. So if you're an only child, pay attention. This might be the most important thing you learn all year. For example, we know that they are always getting away with stuff because of their age. How many times have you heard it? He's only a little guy. That's why he threw the toy car at you. He doesn't know better. But it still hurt. Or, she can because she's older. Well, she might be older, but I'm obviously smarter. How about this? They're always getting away with stuff because of tiredness. She needs a nap. That's why she's cranky. Well, does that give her the right to yell at me and make me feel bad? Or, he doesn't need a nap. I wish he'd take one. He's really mean when he's tired. Then there's this all-time great chestnut. They're always getting away with stuff they actually started. I don't care if it was his idea. Or even better, would you jump off a bridge if she told you to do it? Come on. It was their idea in the first place. They got us to do it. We didn't want to do it to begin with, and we're going to get in trouble at the end? Excuses, excuses, excuses. Well, these truths about having brothers or sisters can be found in the law, and sometimes we can actually use these excuses as a defense to committing a crime. With that said, go to the next slide. We learned last class that your state of mind can, in limited circumstances, be used as a defense to committing a crime. So now let's look at our physical state. Not that physical state, how you felt physically at the time of the crime. Because how you felt and how you physically reacted to things beyond your control may impact whether or not you can use physical state as a defense. While the physical state of an offender can be used as a criminal defense, the scope of that defense is determined by the degree of an offender's physical state. In other words, how you felt at the time of the crime directly impacts whether or not you can use physical state as a defense. We see this best when it comes to the defense of intoxication, which can be used either as a complete defense or to negate or minimize certain mens rea or state of mind elements in a crime. For example, involuntary intoxication is a complete defense to certain crimes. This is when a person, without his willing and knowing use of intoxicating liquor, drugs, or other substances, commits a crime. Here's what this looks like. You're in your restaurant, somebody takes a pill and puts it in your drink. You drink the drink, not knowing the pill's in there. You become involuntarily intoxicated, stumble out to your car, drive into someone else and kill them. You cannot be held liable for murder because you took that intoxicating substance without your knowledge. On the other hand, voluntary intoxication is never a defense. However, voluntary intoxication can negate or minimize the deliberation and premeditation required for certain crimes. What does that mean? Here is our classic Western barroom brawl. Let's say all these guys got really drunk in the bar before the fight started. Well, if one drunk cowboy pulls out his gun and shoots another drunk cowboy, we have a murder. But let's say that you have to have had premeditation and deliberation for that murder. These guys are really drunk. They're too intoxicated to deliberate, to think about it, or to premeditate, to steam about it prior to shooting the gun. So they might not be charged with murder, but they are going to get charged and convicted of something else. Go to the next slide. Our next physical state defense deals with the age of the offender. And as you will see, an offender's age can sometimes be a complete defense. Children ages 7 or under are deemed incapable of forming the mens rea or the guilty mind to commit a crime. So here's our little boy. He's under 7. Let's say he took that car without the owner's permission. In Virginia, we call that carjacking. But there is no crime. There is no way that that little boy realized that he was actually stealing this car. He did not have the mental state. Things get interesting from this point forward. The common law infancy defense, this is for children ages 7 to 14, is a rebuttable presumption that while a child demonstrated actus reus or committed a bad act, he is not liable because he lacked mens rea and did not understand the moral consequences of his actions. Here's how this works. Here's our little boy. He's 11 years old. He's taken this car. In Virginia, we call that carjacking, but it depends whether or not he actually committed the crime. Did he have the ability in his mind to form the mens rea or get to the mental state where he was actually trying to steal the car? The rebuttable presumption is that he was not able to. So the Commonwealth's attorney, the prosecutor, has to prove that that boy was old enough that he was actually taking that car to steal it or to commit a crime. Finally, children ages 14 or over, they have the same capacity as adults. So let's just say that, these guys in this car are 17 and they stole the gremlin. They're all going to be tried as adults. Go to the next slide. Our last physical excuse defense deals less with how we felt physically and more with how we dealt with an outside force. This is entrapment. It is a complete defense in limited cases when an offender was coerced or tricked into committing a crime. Here's the thing. This is different than being forced to commit a crime. Being forced to commit a crime is not an excuse defense. It is a justification. You'll learn about that next lecture. Entrapment is the conception and planning of an offense by an officer, that's a police officer, law enforcement, and his procurement of its commission by one who would not have acted except for the police officer's trickery, persuasion, or fraud. To understand this concept, we have to ask if Bad Cop likes Emmett. Bad Cop does not like Emmett. Bad Cop wants to arrest Emmett. So Bad Cop's idea, Emmett's going to steal this safe, and I'm going to get Emmett to do it. Emmett never would have stolen the safe, but he's persuaded to do it by Bad Cop. So Bad Cop's idea to steal the safe with Emmett, who would have never done it but being persuaded to do it, that equals entrapment by Bad Cop. That is a complete defense in this case. Thank you for watching this lecture, and I look forward to seeing you in class.